This is Chris Broussard, and this is a Radio 1 original.
Do you feel that the NCAA should pay college athletes, and if so, how should they do it?
I do think that college athletes, many of them are being exploited, the ones who are the superstars. I mean, college basketball coaches get $2 million shoe deals for sneakers they don't even wear, that the players are playing in. It's complicated, obviously, how you would do it, and I think a simple solution is just simply make it a free market system where if Zion Williamson is a superstar, he's a phenom. So if Nike says, look, we want to pay this dude, Zion, $2 million a year or more to wear Nikes, to endorse our product, let him do it. And that way the college doesn't even have to pay. And you don't have to worry about, do I have to pay the sixth man who's not nearly as good or as popular as Zion? No, you pay the athletes that companies want to pay. So if Nike or Adidas wants to pay a guy, let them do it. When I was in college, if the New York Times would have wanted to hire me as a sophomore in college because they thought I was so good, that wouldn't have affected my ability to go back to school and still be a student. So why should it do that for the athletes? And also, people say, well, should you pay the female athletes or the swimmers? You don't have to worry about that because they aren't getting that type of popularity where they would get endorsement deals. And if you do have a phenom or a prodigy in golf or swimming, then and Nike wants to pay them or somebody else, then let them do it. So I think it's a simple solution in that regard that would really, colleges wouldn't even have to deal with the money.
And going a lower level down, do you feel like high schoolers should be eligible for the NBA draft, and how about NFL players?
Well, high school players, that's going to happen within the next year or two, few years, once the collective bargaining agreement's up. The NBA wants to make that happen, so you will do that. Look, what's actually best for the game of basketball, I think would be, at both the pro level and the college level, would be if players stayed 2 or 3 years in college and they would come into the league as better players. However, what's fair in American society is that if you're good enough to play in the NBA at 18, you should be able to go. So I think what's fair is that players should be able to go right out of high school into the NBA, and again, that'll happen soon. Now with NFL, no, it's a whole different animal. I think high school kids would get maimed if they tried to go straight to the NFL. There may be one every blue moon who's just so physically, developed and mature that he could survive in the NFL, but for the most part, I'm fine with the 3 year. If you want to move it to 2 years, that would work. But no, you shouldn't have these kids going out of high school and play to the NFL.
Is LeBron still the best basketball player in the world? And if not, who is?
Well, LeBron isn't, because his team's not making the playoffs. And so, and that's no shame. I mean, I said last year, he's the first player in history to be widely considered the best in the world in his 15th season. So, no shame. And I don't know how much he's fallen off, but, in not having that title in his 16th year. We're gonna see. In my book, you don't become the best player in the world in the regular season. You have to do it in the playoffs. And not that your team has to win the championship or even get to the finals, but you have to deliver. Like James Harden, if he doesn't have to get to the finals necessarily to be viewed as the best player in the world, but you can't have these meltdowns and these struggles like you've had in big games in the past in the playoffs. If he goes to the playoffs and balls, or if Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the playoffs killing people and they get beat in the conference finals, I'm fine saying he's the best player in the world. But I think Giannis and Kevin Durant, Steph Curry will be in that argument maybe next year if Durant leaves Golden State, which he likely will. So it's up for grabs. Let's see who gets busy in the playoffs.